here. We got this here. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good. We got the whole mishpucha here. Let me go ahead and reshare this here, and we'll get started in just a second. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. I love when a plan comes together. We got David. We got Zen Master. We got Carrie. We got Dave, we got Vernon, Infinitely, Omar, Jill, Pat, Sandra, Roddy, Wade, Duzzy, Kevin, Mazen. We got Ricky. We got Rick. Good morning, Rick. Moondog is in the house. Mark is in the house. Tom, Elizabeth, Harry, Deanna, Jody, Clay, Armolfo, Colleen, Thomas, Dr. Serena. Good morning, my actuary. Ali's in the house. Robert, Henry, Scott, Timothy, Clay, Rachel, Todd, Darren, Eric. Good morning, everybody. And happy Tuesday. Ricky, Lewis, Raj. Look at that. We're getting a lot of folks in here. Good morning. I am officially Clyde's supervisor today. I hope Clyde knows that. Got my fancy schmancy shirt on. David, Kim, Michael, Motown guy, Richard, Kirk, David, Ray. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Just to remind everybody, a friendly reminder. Patrick, hello from Hawaii. Look at that. Tucson. We got people from everyone. Rosalind is here. Cam, are you here? If you are, Penny's in the house. Say hello, Penny and Gustavo. I know you have that problem posting. Although last time it looked like you were able to post. Anyhow, say hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And let's begin. Now, everybody remember, customer service live from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's very important right now. I'm getting some emails. Roger, what about this for the A line? What about this for the new program? They've got you guys covered. They've got you guys covered every step of the way. Happy October, Mark. It's my birthday month. Yeah. Jim, good morning. Kenneth, good morning. Good morning, Nina. We got a lot of people here. All right, I'm going to start. If I missed somebody, I apologize. Frankie, good morning. I'm trying to be as War Dog is in the house. Good, good, good. Yeah, we've only been live 2 minutes. I usually give myself about 5 minutes. I think what I'm going to do from now on is just start the show a few minutes early, so we can get in here, and that way we can start on time. Hey, Ralph. Good morning. Also, here are some links for you guys. Just so you know, I will be doing I believe it'll be the last event today for the class that I've been doing, the QST class. Let me give you a link for that. If you want to win both ways trade, here is a link for that, and then we can begin. I'll just put them all together here. Oh, God. For some reason, it's not letting me. Oh, there it is. There it is. Here we go. All right. All right. Let me just post this here for you guys, and we'll be ready to go. All right. So here is the link. If you missed Trade Both Ways. And here's the link to my VIP room, which is happening at noon today. And I'll be talking about some really interesting topics that I have not covered in some time. So don't miss out. And don't forget, customer service live. All right, let's begin. So as you guys can see here, the market is opening up really mixed. The Dow is actually down about 100 points and the NASDAQ is up. I'm actually surprised to see that, but that's not a bad sign. That's okay. I'd prefer to see NASDAQ start the day stronger because that's telling us that speculative stocks are ahead. And I'll be going more through this as I talk about the graphs. I'll show you what we're looking at right now. Good morning, Gaston, Jesse, Swee, James. Good morning, Michael, Virtuvian. Good morning. Hopefully I got your name right. So we are opening up mixed. Also, I wouldn't put too much data into all of this because we have the JOLTS report. The JOLTS report is going to reflect on Friday's unemployment report, and that report has been extremely inaccurate. Okay. That report has been that's the job openings report. It has not been very accurate, just like the ADP report has not been accurate. But that is going to reflect on Friday. Is it going to be as impactful as the reports we've been seeing the last several months? I don't think so. Because again, the good morning, RP. Because again, we are now in a deflationary environment, and we are on a set course. The kid's got his bike. He's trying to do jumpies on his bike and ride without his hands. He's happy right now. So it would take a lot to get him excited or upset. We're on a trajectory. We're changing our trajectory. Okay, really, really important. So again, no trading today till 10 a.m. No trading today till 10 a.m. No liquidating anything. Well, maybe liquidating things, but no initiating positions till 10 a.m. Okay. Yes, first, my wife and I, Richard, funny that you mentioned that. My wife and I were talking about that right before we closed our eyes last night about that. I was actually asking her, and she was telling me the same thing. First day for mail-in ballots. That's right. That is correct. Exciting time. Exciting time. Also, Richard actually brought something up. It's not a really fertile trading environment as we head into the election. Usually, this is something you guys may want to make a note of. Usually, what will happen is, one second here. Usually, what one second, I closed this thing off by accident. Okay, here we go. Usually what will happen is you will see the market slow down as we head into June, well into June. It doesn't really start in May. And then as we get out of right, like I would say typically guys, about a week ago, maybe a week and a half ago, yeah, maybe even 2 weeks ago, things would start moving back. Volume would start moving back. People would be starting to come back. You would see a noticeable, good morning, Philip, Frank, and Richard. You would see a noticeable bump. You would see volume. You would see movement. You would stop seeing that summer doldrum we've been having. We've been having it for so long. I think we all got used to trading in that environment. I mean, I could probably count how many trend days we've had in the broad market on one hand in the last 6 months or 3 months. But anyway, the point I'm making is that when you have elections, Richard Feinberg, when you have elections, thank you, Dr. Serena. I appreciate you doing that. You tend to see the summer doldrum go all the way up to the election. So in other words, typically your summer calmness goes from June to say middle of September, and during elections you actually start seeing it start a little later, but it ends all the way towards the election. Does that make sense? And that's something I've noticed, not something I've noticed through back testing. That's something I've noticed through actually being alive and trading over the last several election cycles. That's just something I've noticed on a personal basis. Okay, you might have noticed it as well, but and it makes sense, right? We have a lot more uncertainty in the summer. You have doldrum because there's not a lot of participants, and also uncertainty. And and during election, you've got a heightened level of uncertainty because if one gets elected, certain things can go this way. If the other gets elected, certain things can go this way. Although in reality, I'm going to be honest with you, the major impact of a sitting president is not felt for about 2 to 3 years. So basically, you know how, and folks, I know a lot of you are going to disagree with me. This is not a political statement. This has nothing to do with politics. It has to do with the penetration of rules and law and regulations in this country. So if somebody makes a law, the people it takes usually 2 to 3 years for folks to feel it. Okay. So this whole thing, well, this guy's a president, therefore, and we're feeling this, therefore he's responsible. That's a very layman's way of thinking, okay? That's a ridiculous way of thinking, okay? This guy's the president, the market is bad right now, it's his fault. It doesn't work that way. Because it takes a couple of years for all the laws and regulations to take effect and have a penetrating effect on society. You guys do understand that, right? So I had dinner with somebody about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, and he was like, "Well, the economy's here. This guy's the president. Therefore, it's his responsibility." It doesn't work that way. Good and bad, things that you like and things that you don't like. Again, I'm not taking any side. I'm just explaining to you. Whenever you think about something and you're like, I don't like this, we need a different president. Well, go back 2.5 years, 3 years, and ask yourself, who was the president back then? Okay? Because it takes that long for things to penetrate to us. If they make a new driving law today, it's going to take a couple of years for you to see the impact of it on the road. You understand? It's just simple common sense. But a lot of folks like to impute things that are happening right now to the current administration. It doesn't work that way in reality, okay? I don't know if you guys know that or not. And I'm pretty qualified to say this. I have a doctor's degree in law. So I think I'm qualified to actually speak on this topic. Nonetheless, this doesn't have anything to do with who you like, who you're voting for, who you believe is a better president. I'm just explaining to you how things work in this country. Okay. Justin said, any thoughts on market reaction on Kamala being elected and the market reaction? Justin, yes, I did you know what? Yes, I did a full report on that, and I'll give it to you guys today in the VIP room. How about that? And I'll also tell you which stocks I will like. And again, this has nothing to do with who I'm favoring. It just has to do with what these folks stand for and what they like or what they don't like. Don't get me roped in. Oh, thank God, Rebecca, you got your power back. So don't get me roped into taking sides. I'm not going to do that. Okay, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm not political. I think they all suck. Okay. So there you go. They all suck. They're all terrible. Okay. So market very mixed right now. We've got PMI, ISM, construction, and jolts. And they're all coming within 15 minutes of each other. So you're not going to have that major volatility till about 10 o'clock. Don't look at the market at the opening. And then you have Fed speakers as well. And they're saying all sorts of silly stuff. Tomorrow you have petroleum report. And the ADP report, which will also reflect on Friday. This is a big report on Friday. Okay, this is a big report. Crude oil. Let's talk crude oil. As I mentioned to you guys, crude oil made another swing low, broke down. It's down right now. I am starting to get more bearish on the energy stocks, and I gave you guys a green light to trade energy once we broke the 67.50 level. I did. You could look it up here. So if you find a bearish energy stocks, there are a few good ones, and I'll be talking about them in the VIP room today. Ralph says 380 million Americans, and these are two. But Ralph, don't get me started. Ralph, I don't like politics. I don't agree with most politics. I am not the guy to talk to about politics. You're not going to get a satisfactory answer from me. Okay. I think I'm very jaded with politics. I think they're all crooks and liars and they're all out there they just lie. I just think politicians are bullshitters. Period. 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 I will, David. I'll comment on the dog worker strike. Uh, Gold is starting to come up. Remember what I said here. Uh, we never made a low below this pivot. This is today. We're holding the A line, which is fantastic. I would prefer to see gold trade above the 2690 level, but I would like to see. Uh, yeah, I'm having dinner with him tonight, RJ. I'm going to be talking to him tonight. I will be talking to him tonight. He loves politics. He loves politics. So I would prefer to see a little more upside, but if I see a breakout stock in gold, I will be doing that. I don't have any energy in gold stocks this morning, but I promise for the afternoon session, I'm even going to make a note for myself here. Find. So I'm going to try to find the best golden energy stock. Um, I know, Jim. I know. So don't get me started. You're not going to get a good answer from me. To me, they're all full of shit. Excuse my French. All of them. Every one of them. All right. Like, how do you know if a politician is lying when he opens his mouth? That's the kind of guy I am. So I'm very jaded. Sorry, I just don't like any of them. So I am bullish on gold. I am bullish on gold. I think Clyde would make the best president. Okay. I think we need to make Clyde president. Also, customer service live, Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And don't forget, I am going live today, VIP room at noon. Yes, I think we deserve much, much better. Much, much better. Much, 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 much better. Period. So again, 2690, but I will find some bearish energy stocks and I will find some bullish gold stocks for you. 10 year, 10 year. Notice we're not breaking out and we're not breaking down. We're in a wait and see mode. I think by Friday we will show the bond market will show its hand. I think by Friday the bond market will show its hand. But right now, and by the way, this right here, this very neutral, non-directional bias, it translates into the stock market. Remember, guys, I know you don't want to hear this. I know this is really derived. I know this is far-fetched, but but the stock market gets its directional and volatility bias from the bond market. The, the bond market gets its directional and volatility bias from the currency market. So the more volatile, the more you see the bond market move, the more you will see the stock market move. The less you will see the bond market move, the less you will see the stock market move. Right now, we're kind of in this non-directional area right here, and I think we need to break out. But I'm watching it very carefully. China. China yesterday closed near the low, but we didn't break the low. The problem with China, and this is what I was trying to say last few days, they're in a holiday now. So we're not going to get any directional bias for those stocks in the US. And basically, it's going to be like holiday season for all those stocks. So my point is, my point is, we got to be really careful with Chinese stocks. And if you start seeing this coming down a little bit, remember, this is the future. This is trading off the futures. But be careful. If you're watching FXI, make sure we don't start filling in the 31 level. If we start filling in the 31 level, it's not going to be good. Possibly, Michael, possibly, very possible, very possible. Volatility. Look at that. Notice bonds are not moving. Volatility is not moving. Matter of fact, volatility has gone up in the last few days. Not a good sign for the market. Momentum levels, however, if you look at momentum levels, they're really stable right now. You've got 83% above the 50, 79. You got really stable momentum levels. Even the Russell, the Dow, everything is stable. I mean, Russell 3000, you still have 65%, but I don't want to nitpick. The Dow looks really good. The Russell 2000, you still have 59%. But again, we're above 50%. As long as we're above 50%, we're okay. We do still have vulnerability on the NASDAQ 100 at the 200-day moving average and the Russell 2000 at the 200-day moving average. What does that mean? Why should we be fearful of that? It means if we have a really nasty news, our foundation is not all that strong on the NASDAQ 100 and the Russell 2000, but they are the most speculative sectors, so they are the most vulnerable right now. Good morning, Ivano. Good morning, Heather. Welcome, 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 welcome. Don't forget Cam and Gustavo show. Don't forget Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. All right, let's put everything together. Tuesday, I now checked this. I can't believe it's October already. Maybe because ahead of the holiday, RJ, I don't really know. Maybe because they've been, I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. Don't you think this is a little too much, too fast? I mean, going from 24 to 30, I mean, this is like a third. This is their stock market, RJ. Imagine the S&P 500 doing this. This is So again, you want to wait. The levels you want to see here are, I'm going to give them to you right now, 31.27 and 31.60 here. You could see it right here. Right here. 31.60 and 31.25, I would say. Those are the two levels. If we break 31.60, we're probably going to go to 31.25. But be careful, you're not going to get a lot of movement. You're going to see like a takeover stock, like very random movement here over the next few days. Just FYI, why? That's okay. I mean, and you still have all those Chinese stocks that have been going up, you know? So again, let's put everything together, okay? Let me blow this up. I know a lot of you can't see so well, so I want to make sure you could see this. Look at that. We got almost 400 people in half the time. It used to take us 20 minutes to get like 250 people here. This is good. Rick says profit taking wouldn't you if you were that deep in the money. Yeah, of course, Rick. Of course. At least partial, right? You would think. All right. Investors weighted the latest reading on job openings. That's this report that I keep telling you about, JOLTS, right there. I like to do this after kind of talking to you guys for a while because then we can at least understand the movie that we're in. And I know a lot of you have been sending me emails saying, hey, I now understand exactly what you're talking about, even when you're not getting deep. I could follow along these conversations you're having in the morning. I now understand that if the NASDAQ doesn't go here, there's no way we're going to get a rally. I now understand that if Micron doesn't rally, how it's going to affect the Dow Jones and the S&P. I love seeing these emails from you. That makes sense, Rebecca. You know what I did, Rebecca? I went long a very, very boring stock during that same moment when I was in that emotional state where I didn't know what was going on and we had the flood and we didn't have power out. What I did was I went through, I went and I bought a $20 stock in the pit where I knew that even if I was wrong and my mind wasn't clear, it couldn't get us into too much trouble. So what you want to do when you're not 100, when you don't have your footing isn't 100%. And that's actually something I wanted to talk about. The day the hurricane came, I woke up, we didn't have power. I left the house. I came back to the house. I had to set up Matt here. It was a very, very distractful day. Plus, it was the day I had my world premiere release. Did I go crazy? Did I buy a $1,000 stock in the pit? No, I purposely bought. We still have it. I bought a $20 stock in the pit that has very low volatility. Why? Because I like the stock, but more importantly, I didn't want volatility to eat me alive in case I was wrong. Do you guys now understand why we're holding that stock in the pit? And think about when I initiated that trade. You don't always have to be a cowboy. You don't always have to carry an M16. You don't always have to trade Tesla. You understand? You can also trade low beta stocks. When things get tough, don't trade or trade low beta stocks where if you get your head handed to you, you'll lose 75 cents instead of $75. I talked about Tesla yesterday, Robert, and I'll talk about it more today in the VIP room. Let me make myself a note here. See, I already have 3 things to talk about in the VIP room that I wasn't planning. The VIP room is perfect to talk about things that we don't have time to talk about here. See, I made myself a note. I'm going to talk about gold stocks, energy stocks, Tesla. I've got myself little notes here. All right. So do you guys understand why I've been meaning to tell you, but we haven't had time. Do you guys understand why I did that trade, that $20 stock in the pit 2 days ago? It wasn't only because it was a good stock. That was a great reason. I didn't give you a shitty stock. I love the stock. I still do. I'd buy it today. I gave you that stock because I didn't want to be in a high volatile situation. And when markets are extra volatile and there's a lot of unforeseeability, like in a hurricane, sometimes what you want to do is you want to be anchored. Okay? Because you're going to get the volatility from the market. You don't need double volatility. I want you guys to think about what I'm saying in light of the stock that we have in the pit. And if you guys feel like you're getting cheated because you don't know what I'm talking about here, I will jump back into this once we close that stock and explain to you. But basically, if things are breaking, if things are going crazy, Don't feel bad about going into a $20 or $30 stock that doesn't move like crazy because it's a way to ground yourself. Okay. Thank you, Duzzy. Yes. You could talk about that stock. We already got out of that stock. I'm talking about the one we got into before that stock, Duzzy, which you're not going to mention here because we're still holding it. Okay. And I appreciate you guys not mentioning it because we're holding it. But the moral of the story is if the markets are going crazy or there's a lot of unforeseeability, don't feel bad about getting into a cheap or a low movement stock to ground yourself. That way, you can still participate in the upside, but without getting slapped too hard if you're wrong or something bad happens. Good morning, Brian. I was curious where you were. Good morning. I hope you're doing well. And folks, if you love that scanner that we made for the quick strike, Brian had a lot to do with it. Okay, he had a lot to do with it. So thank Brian. Brian, very 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 good. We got to get Brian a Clyde supervisor shirt. All right. Yesterday, Apple rose over 2%, top gainer in the Dow, gave us a little bit of an upside. I've heard a lot of talk about this iPhone. I don't use the iPhone. All the ladies in my family, I have a lot of ladies in my family. All of the ladies in the family use iPhones, and all the men in the family use Androids. I don't know why. It just happened to be work out that way. My wife loves her iPhone. I love my Samsungs. I'm never going to go into Apple products. Just not my thing. But from what I understand, a lot of folks are having heating issues, and a lot of folks are having problems with this iPhone. All right, a lot of people are having issues, and a lot of people are saying, "Hey, I should have waited." Also, from what I understand, the stuff that they promised people with in regards to the AI, it's not there yet. In other words, you buy the phone and they're going to give you the AI when it's ready for free, and they're going to upload it to the phone, but the AI is not ready yet. So the word on the street is mixed on this phone. I'm not an expert, but I'm just giving you the feedback that I'm getting from the streets. The word on the streets, okay? FedEx advanced over 2%, UPS because the obvious beneficiaries of the extended strike. Now, not a lot. I got like 3 or 4 emails yesterday about the strike. I'm not big on. Here's how I like. Here's how I like to deal with these events. I like to wait for these events to start, then I know for a fact that they will most likely remain. Because a lot of times what you will see is they threaten the strike, and nothing happens, and then the stock just falls apart. So in this case, they're actually they're moving on with it, and in this case, it could be an extended disruption. If we have an extended disruption, there are many ways to trade it, but I like to wait. But I like to wait to see if something develops. I don't like to buy rumors. So yes, there are plenty of opportunities, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. I want to see how things develop over the next few days. Remember, I'm a momentum trader. I don't trade turning points, except the A line. I'm more of a momentum trader. Even with A line, we trade pauses in momentum. So I want to make sure those momentum stays. Yeah, I've always been. I had one iPhone. I wasn't a huge fan like 10 years ago, and I've been. I have Samsungs, and I have like one from 4 years ago. I still use it. Again, I'm not a techie. Matt is a techie. I've also heard really good things about the Google phone. Okay, so Boeing fell 2%, top percent loser after the union announced the negotiations to resolve the strike have collapsed. That's what I want to see. Now we're going to start looking into how to trade the strike. I wanted the negotiations to collapse. No further talks scheduled. That's when I start looking, okay? Treasury yield climbed. Interestingly, look how they connected Treasury yield not to real estate, but they connected Treasury yield to Micron and on going lower. Now, it's true. Higher yield is bad for semiconductors, but there's like 5 other sectors that get impacted more directly, like consumer staples and real estate. I just find it really interesting how they went directly to something that's not even directly correlated. But that's okay. There is a negative correlation. Chicago PMI unexpectedly edged higher, stronger than expected. Jerome Powell. Ay, ay, ay. Do I have to read this? He said Monday that central banks will reduce interest rates over time while reiterating that the overall economy continues to be on solid footing. Didn't we read yesterday that? Never mind. Powell also reaffirmed his belief that inflation will keep moving towards the central bank's 2% target. Oh, he's going to have egg all over its face if it doesn't, adding that the current economic conditions set the table for a continued easing of price pressure. We'll see. Then why the hell are his cohorts saying we need to lower rates half a basis point next meeting too? See what I mean? Even politics here, I can't tolerate it. I'm a no BS kind of guy, and when I start smelling BS, I just turns me off. At the same time, he noted U.S. did not have yet the data necessary to make a decision regarding the November meeting. Then why are your cohorts saying all sorts of nonsense? Ralph Bostic stated he would be open to another half a percentage point rate cut at the November meeting if forthcoming data indicates job growth. Notice he didn't say anything about a quarter. He's already at a half. Blows my mind away. Is Forthcoming data indicates job growth is slowing more rapidly than anticipated. But wait a minute. Didn't Powell say that that was not the case? These people are not making any sense. Just not making any sense. All right. Surprise to the week. I don't even want to read it anymore. Just it's gonna upset me too much. It's gonna cause me to have my blood pressure go up, and I don't need that. I want to be even today. There's a 64% of a 25-point basis cut. At this point, this doesn't mean anything because the kid got his bike already. Yeah, yeah. Nike has earnings today. I wouldn't really worry about paychecks too much. I mean, maybe a little bit with like companies like PayPal, but mostly Nike's what you want to pay attention to, and McCormick as well to a lesser degree. But Nike's what you want because this does have a impact on consumer discretionary stocks. I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you, po- uh, dump politics. Just forget about it. They suck. Jolt's job opening report, that's going to be released today. That's going to come out at 10 o'clock. We're not going to be making any big bets before that time. Manufacturing is coming out. Global manufacturing, construction spending is coming out. I don't think that's going to have a big impact. Europe. Europe is flat, pretty much. I mean, flat. They digested remarks from European central banks, technology. Notice not a lot of volatility in the bond market. You're not going to get any volatility from China today. So keep in mind, China usually gives us a lot of volatility. We're not getting any from China today, and we're not getting any follow through from Europe, which is one of the reasons why the S&P is down only 3.5 points. It's just there's just not much there, and that's why you're seeing divergence. There's just not much there this morning. Does it help if your blood pressure? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Politics totally blow up my blood pressure because it's irritating to me because I could see through most of the bullshit that they say, and that's why that's yeah. Anyway, technology stocks advanced Tuesday while luxury and energy stocks lost ground. A survey released on Tuesday indicated that manufacturing activity across Eurozone fell at its quickest rate this year in September as demand sharply decreased, even though factories reduced their prices. They're not doing well in Germany right now. Japan, China closed week-long National Day holiday. They will reopen Tuesday, October 8th. So we don't have anything from China for a full week, a full week. Japan closed higher today, recovering some losses from the previous days. Heavy sell-off supported by weekend. Japanese shares also tracked gains on Wall Street overnight. Defensive stocks led the gains on Tuesday. Defensive. So far, we're not seeing that. We're seeing defensive stocks lag and speculative stocks lead. But look at the S&P 500. I mean, it's down 1.5. It's nothing. It's not worth even talking about. Zim slumped 5% in pre-market after dock workers initiated the strike. Now we're going to start looking at these things. Boeing dropped 2% in pre-market after Bloomberg reported the company aims to raise at least $10 billion through a share sale to replenish cash for the ongoing strike. Hewlett Packard is down. They got downgraded. Not good. And Ford, finally, remember I was saying how car stocks, something we should look to the downside. They didn't come up on any of my scans, but today Ford got down upgraded. Keep an eye on General Motors because they kind of move together, and this may give Tesla a little bit of a pull. Keep your eye on Nike. This can be really good or really bad for Foot Locker. They are like a sister company. Nike's a distributor and a retailer. Foot Locker is a distributor for Nike. And China, without China, that can be impactful. But again, keep an eye on this company. Keep an eye on Lamb Weston, and keep an eye on McCormick. That's all coming out today. As far as momentum levels are concerned, we've got plenty of firepower to the upside. Again, we have almost no stocks breaking down, but the number is starting to increase slightly. I mean, look, we went from 7 to 16, and I finally got some good shorts to the downside. As far as sectors and stocks, we still have a big mixed bag. But notice something interesting. Semiconductors are still number one, but notice something interesting. Look where industrial is. Look what basic material is. Look where home builders are. I think the Dow Jones is going to start coming back up, and I think technology is going to start coming back down. You will notice that Russell 2000 is already down here. You will notice that Bitcoin is already down here. You will notice that QQQ is down here. Look where QQQ was a few days ago. Consumer discretionary, QQQ, technology, they were all up here. Semiconductor, consumer discretionary technology, QQQ, communication services, they were all up here. Today, communication services technology, but look at consumer discretionary. It's already coming off. It's already starting to come down. So I think what's going to happen, we're going to have a pretty mixed market, but don't be surprised if you start seeing more. When do you think healthcare is coming back? When the blue chips really start coming back. And that could be this Friday or before Friday, assuming Friday's report is positive. Let's talk technicals now. I guess I'll start with SMH. Might as well. Okay, so you guys know we talked about this level extensively. We broke this level yesterday, but today we're back above it. This level is going to be really, really important. This 244 level is going to be really important. Are we going to start coming down or are we going to start coming up? And I don't know which way it will go, but we are in a twilight zone right now. We need to either break above 256 or we need to break below 233. QQQ is right there still. If we break down here and start going in here, you see where we are. We need to break above 494. Hey, look at that. 450 people watching. Love it. On the SPY, which has some blue chips in it, and blue chips are doing really good, we're all the way up here. So we don't have to worry about that. My concern is that we're going to stay choppy around here for the foreseeable future and just continue doing this type of a price action. What I'd really like to see is break up to new highs. Oh yeah. RJ, yes, Monster was a beast of a trade. Yes. I didn't get any complaints on that one. And QQQ, I mentioned that one kind of in between semiconductors right here. We need to break higher. The Dow Jones, on the other hand, at the top, no semiconductors. Apple's in here, and Apple's been moving. So again, the S&P is looking a lot more like this because blue chips have been controlling the narrative. With industrial, basic material stocks, they've been controlling the narrative. Okay. So intraday levels. Let me give you intraday levels. On the Dow, intraday levels are 423, 420. Good morning, 007. I've been giving direction for the last 39 minutes, 007. What do you think I've been doing here for the last 30 something minutes? S&P, you've got 475, 472.77. Thank you, Frankie. On the QQQ, I'm literally giving you levels, 007. Excuse me. Sorry about that. On the QQQ, you've got 490, 484, and here 494. Okay. On the Russell, those levels are 221, 218, 222.64. There you go, Karen. All right, those are the levels. Let me just do Dow Jones. Yeah, right here, 423.28 and 419. All right, let's talk about stocks. I'm actually going to get out of here early today, thank God. Don't forget Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day. Check out my Win Both Ways trade. And most importantly, VIP room at noon. All right. Let me give you guys stocks that I'm looking at right now. Let's do the short side first. If the chip stocks fold, this stock is going to fold. I told you about this stock yesterday. It's already down about 1.28%. Corvo. Elf. I don't know why they would call a beauty company Elf, but here we are. Elf. Boeing. Told you about Boeing the other day. It's down almost a full percent right now. IONS. Omar, I think I talked about SMH. If I didn't, let me do that right now. Here, SMH, real quick. Let me give you the levels for that. I thought I did, but if not, here they are. Right here, 253, 242, 250, 250, 253, 250, 243, and right here, 233. You're welcome, Omar. Sorry about that. Let's go back to what I was doing. IONS. Don't tell me it's the first time I'm talking about this stock. Matter of fact, it's not the first time I'm talking about any of these stocks. Right there. MDGL. I don't know the liquidity, if there will be liquidity on this stock. I don't know. And I already, FMX. Now this is ready. It wasn't ready yesterday. Today it looks ready. See, it broke that low. I was waiting for it to break this low. It finally broke this low. Spreads on this are a little wide, so be careful. All right, let me now talk about the long side. Kroger. I know a lot of stocks that I have not been giving you in a long time. And yes, I'm being highly sarcastic. Kroger, Aflac, Aflac, new highs on Aflac, by the way. PPL, what a beauty. Walmart, yeah, first time we're talking about Walmart here in a long time. MDT, by the way, Walmart and MDT are A-line stocks, and IRM too. Those are A-line stocks. Beautiful. Look at that. That's beautiful. TAP, be careful here. Forget about it. Forget about it. We got too much resistance here. Forget about it. Forget TAP. Forget TAP. Fox A, and Comcast. They both are in the same category. Thank you, Eric, and good morning to you. They're both in the same category, communication stocks. Meta, Oracle. Where did I get that stock from? What a beauty. EXC. Don't I give you guys value or what? Look at these beauties. Realty Group, T-Mobile, a lot of communication stocks in my list today. A lot of communication stocks. XLC, communication, XLC. This ticker right here. Right there. A lot of tickers for communication. CTVA, last one right there. If I didn't give you a roadmap today, God only knows what I did. Then you're not listening to me. All right. Was this helpful? Here's my email address, roger@rogerscott.com. Customer service live, the Cam and Gustavo show from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day. And here is some links for you. I hope this was helpful. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. I will see you all later. I'm going to go to work and do some trades, okay? Thanks, guys. Bye. And remember, today I'm Clyde's supervisor. That's right. That's right. Good. Bye, everyone. Have a fantastic day today. Love you all. Thank you for being here.